everybody, it's Chris Eads, known online as Wootini, here with another Gay Gamer video podcast for you. This weekend, I was finally able to see Mickey 17. I say finally because it just came out. I saw it opening weekend, but finally because it was supposed to have come out like in the fall last year, and it just kept getting bumped, and now it's March, and it finally hit theaters at long last. I couldn't see it in proper IMAX at Lincoln Square, so I had to settle for like adequate IMAX at 42nd Street, but it was still nice on a big screen and all. And it's not like a proper IMAX movie. I don't think it would have been square or anything. But the movie itself was a lot of fun. The satire is not subtle. They did not even change the color of the caps, but it's still funny. And it's still a very entertaining story. And while some of it is very cartoonish, and like Mark Ruffalo and Toni Collette are completely over the top and not subtle, but they're not meant to be. He's clearly not trying to be subtle with his satire here. He's making his point, and it's mostly funny. But Robert Pattinson creates this character that actually has some heart to it. Two, actually, because for a while there's two of him running around. But he creates this character with heart that actually lets the more heartfelt parts of the story, and you actually care. So it's not just like a wacky satire that's over the top and ridiculous. Like, you actually care about some of these characters because they're like more genuine and real. So it's this weird balancing act between wacky and serious and heartfelt and getting the point across, and it's kind of a mess, but somehow it works, and I don't know how he pulled it off, but he did, and so I recommend it. It's very good. As for games, I actually was able to step away from the Disney and Nikki a little bit to play some Starfield this past week, which was delightful. I didn't feel overwhelmed with my daily games. It's mostly because with Disney, now there are friendship quests and stuff to do, but there's like the Star Path. I'm trying to like remind myself that I have a month to do it, so it's not that big a deal. I don't need to spend like an hour. Also, there's certain things that you can't do quickly. You know what I mean? Like if it's like, talk to this character twice, you can only talk to a character once a day. So that's going to take you at least 2 days to do that. So like once I get to a point where it's like, okay, I don't want to do any more of these, I turn it off. So like, and I also am taking advantage of the trick I learned last time, because last time, if you recall, many episodes ago, I talked about this, where a boutique challenge came up. It's like, do 2 Daisy's boutique challenges. And I was like, I frickin' hate the boutique challenges. So I put it off. And then another one showed up and said, do 2 boutique challenges. I was like, now I gotta do 4. But you don't. Because if you do one, it counts for both. Same with like doing your Dreamlight duties, your royal duties, however they want to phrase it. I had 2 of those going at once. So like I finished one while getting half of the other. And so that's very helpful because you can do 2 Star Path duties like at the same time. So that's helpful. And after the last one where they're like, collect memories, and I'm like running around doing random shit just trying to get memory globes to pop up. Now, if I'm doing stuff and a memory globe pops up, I don't touch it. I leave it on the ground. So there's all these glowing memory orbs all over the valley, so that if I do get another one that says collect 5 memories, I just go doot, 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 done. It takes 2 seconds. So that's really helpful. And while I am easing back on the Star Path duties, I can't ease back too much because I have to also, again, keep in mind the lessons learned on the last one. Now that they have these bonus rewards, the bonus Star Path duties, like that you have to do in order to get those bonus rewards, they get more and more and more time consuming. So I can't wait too long, but I can let it go a little bit, because then I can play other things, like Nikki. Because with Nikki, I was waiting for that final quest in the Erie season mini quest line, the bonus quest finally unlocked, and I was able to go inside the castle and do a bunch of platforming and then face off against the queen and finish that story. And it was lovely. It was a very lovely little story. I enjoy the storytelling in Nikki sometimes. And the platforming wasn't too hard, because I find that in like main story and side quests, like in the actual game, the platforming is never like that tricky, because I'm not good at platforming, but it's usually doable. And sometimes there's like a trickier part, but that's like for a bonus item or a wish star or something. So if you really want it, you can try to do that platforming, but you don't have to. They usually make the difficult platforming optional. Like in one of the many things that you can do during this Erie season event was the Illusibloom depths, which you can tackle one by one, and you get rewards for each level that you beat. And they got incredibly difficult. Although it's funny, because one of them was like, I expected it to be like, one was super hard. It was like this crazy platforming with all these moving platforms and twisty things, and I kept falling and dying, and it was really annoying. So I waited till the next day to tackle the next level, which was just combat, so it was fine. Although the very last one was like the trickiest platforming of all and the worst combat of all, and that was just horrible, and I really wish the rewards were better, because that took forever. It was really irritating. But I did finish basically everything I want to finish in the Erie season. I did want to finish the Illusibloom depths, because there was a that was one of the things that you could get points for doing, and then the more points that you got for doing different tasks in the in this Erie season, as you did the different tasks, you know, like taking care of the Volquet and doing the Illusibloom depths and taking the picture of this and doing that, like you'd get points and you'd get pieces of an outfit, which I eventually did complete the outfit, and now I'm like, fine, I don't care about doing any more of these tasks because I'm done. I just like the outfit. That's all I want. Anything else, it's just random bonus stuff. I'm like, if it's not an outfit, I don't care as much. But while waiting for that quest to unlock so I could finish the Erie season, I was doing random stuff to kill time, and I ended up finishing a main story quest that then led to this enormous, massive cutscene, which then said, okay, now your next step is to pursue and go into the Wishing Woods. And I'm like, oh, I can finally unlock the Wishing Woods. Yay! I reached that part of the story. So I was very excited to go to the Wishing Woods. You have to craft a shrinking outfit because the entrance to the Wishing Woods is real tiny. And you have to shrink down and ride on Momo's head, and it is adorable. Like everything else in this game, it is freaking adorable. So that adds a new gameplay element to say, oh, how can I complete this? Oh, I need to be tiny on Momo's head in order to do this. So that's fun. It added a new wrinkle to things in the problem solving. The other thing that I did after I finished that, and before I went to after I finished the Erie season and before I went to the Wishing Woods, I also decided to do the styling challenges. And I battled everyone in town, and because I'd done them here and there, but I never really pursued them. But I've leveled up my clothes a bunch, so they were really easy to do. Like, it was like, boop, 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 done. Boop, 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 done. And I was just kicking ass everywhere. And I worked my way up, and I finally was able to challenge the Sovereign of Cool, which is the boss, basically. There's a few of them. And so I challenged the Sovereign of Cool, and it was awesome. It was this whole like anime cutscene with like the battling, but in fashion, so you're not like fighting, you're just posing, and it's like hilarious. And my outfit is hideous, as you can see, because I don't have a really good cool outfit that's complete. I had a bunch of pieces of this cool outfit, but not the whole thing, because it was one of the gacha things, so I didn't get all of the pieces. But I had enough that like I can just supplement it with other things and level those up. So it's not as strong as the whole outfit would probably be, but it was strong enough that I could eke out a victory, and it was fine. So, yay! But while Nikki, it's easier to put Disney down, it's harder to put Nikki down because I get all wrapped up in exploring the world and seeing what's next and what's out there and doing things because there's so much to do. I did manage to like play, and I'd say like, okay, here's a little Disney, okay, here's a little Nikki, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's put Nikki away now, and I can play Starfield for an hour or so. And I was able to do some quests in Starfield. One of them, annoyingly, was it was fun. You're like, it was an old quest that I had never gotten around to, like one of the random assignments, and I was like, okay, let me follow up on this distress call, and okay, let me clear this compound of spacers. So I'm just running around shooting spacers. It's wonderful. And I also ran into a very handsome redhead who had a British accent, and he's a doctor, and I'm like, hey, can I marry you instead of Sam? But it was funny because after clearing all the spacers, they're like, okay, now we just need you to go and clear out spacers over here. And then I did that. And then like, okay, now we just need you to go up in space and shoot up their ships because they keep landing with more people. And I'm like, now I've got to do space combat, and I hate space combat. So, but I managed to pull it off. And then I went back, and they're like, okay, you're still not done, because now there's just waves of spacers coming in an assault, and you have to kill them all. And it was like, oh my god. So this took me days to do this all. And then I put Andreja back, and I said, okay, let me get Sam, and we'll do a Freestar Ranger mission. And it was so annoying, because we're going looking for this guy, and she's like, I will tell you where he is if you run the Red Mile. And I'm like, fuck. Because I discovered the Red Mile. It was like this random, it was one of the assignments. It was like one of the activities or whatever they call it, run the Red Mile. But when I went there, it's like, you have to run through this gauntlet of like enemies to pull a lever. And I was like, I don't feel like doing that. That just sounds dangerous, and I'm going to die, and no thank you. It's not worth it. Except here, they're like, I will set up a meeting for you and this guy that you're searching for after you run the Red Mile. And I was like, damn it. And when talking to the owner of the club, I was hoping that I could get a persuasion option to convince her to just do it anyway and not make me run the Red Mile, because I'm very persuasive now. I've leveled that up enough that I can usually talk my way out of things. Unfortunately, I was not given that option, and I had to go and run the Red Mile. And I thought there was going to be enemies, but it's just these like big monsters, and these big alien monster creatures, and they just attack you, and they're fucking bullet sponges. It was so annoying. I'm like, boom, boom, with my most powerful shotgun weapon, doing the most damage I can do, and it was still taking like 4 or 5 bullets to take one down, and I'm like, this is insane. This is taking forever. Also, stuff was exploding all around me, and I don't even know what it was because it was just chaos. I don't know if it's mines or if they're dropping bombs on you while you're trying to run the gauntlet. I don't know. It's not cool. The monsters were enough. And I ended up just literally running through and just avoiding everyone and pulling the lever to complete the gauntlet. And I was like, forget it. But I survived. Also, I don't know if there's a way back, because I didn't see an easy way back. And then the things were still attacking me, and I'm just like, I don't know if there's like a door so that I can go back underground and avoid the nonsense. Or like a hovercraft or something would be nice. So I ended up having to run all the way back to go back in the door I exited. And I'm like, so now I've technically run it twice. That's super annoying. But I got my meeting, so yay me. So I plan to continue to not let Disney and Nikki suck up all of my free time so that I can continue to play Starfield. Because I don't want it to just sit there and then it's going to take me like a year to finish this game. So we'll see. So that is enough for this week. That was too much. So I will see you back here next time, and I'll have more to talk about. See you then. Bye!